Well, today is Friday. This is going to be canvas 1359. The idea behind it, the idea behind it is landscape. I'm going to do it atmospheric. This is a 20 by 24 that I started in swing paint a while back. I don't know what the number on this. This is number 1348. It was one of the videos that or one of the paintings that I used to learn how to do all this stuff. And then I ended up playing with it in the studio later. Went through a lot of steps, and I do have the video on it actually. And I was learning how to do the video, and I kind of lost it once or twice because of the memory, and the computer, had to buy a new computer and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, normally doing what I'm about ready to do doesn't normally work that well, but I'm going to use a different setting. I'm going to use the concept of it. I'm probably going to put some horses in it like this. Like, this is the same view as this. These are the trees back there, and this is just a bigger a bigger version of it, closer down, but a different angle. But basically that's the same view. In fact, entirely possible I could have used that, but I don't think I did. So I may put the horse in it. Well, I'm pretty sure I will, in fact. If I do this, that's what I'll do. This is another one that I composited up, similar view, in black and white. And I could use this in combination. In other words, have some big trees and stuff coming out front. Anyways, we'll see. Okay, I guess we're going to start this thing. All right, this is canvas 1359. It's a Friday morning, very early in the morning. I've only been up a little while, and I've had a little Starbucks, so I'm in pretty good shape. The concept is this, or the mood, I should say. Really, that's the mood. That's this. Now we'll put it away. And take this off. This here I use to focus the camera, and then I put it down here so I don't forget where I am. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide what my basic composition is going to be, and it's I think I'm actually going to use this part and then drop in the other reference. There's another reference next to this one. So this is going to be my detail, I guess. But I'm going to use these trees here in this composition to kind of set up a different type of view. Sometimes I do Venice or something like that. I'm going to do mood. This is going to be a mood painting. So I'm going to run my composition, my horizon right there, straight across. And that's probably pretty straight. Then I'm going to put this big ass tree right up here. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, popular. Like that. And then this is the distance, and then I want this to be a narrow pathway like this, through this and up, and we'll break these and come down like that. So these two are on the same level. Get some more medium. This is alizarin orange that I'm using. I don't have my complete palette out yet. I'll put it out as I need it, not before. no point wasting paint that I might not ever going to use. Just kind of get that a little better. That's a dark area in there. And this is going to be obviously about reflection. And there's another one that's up and over here that's in about the same path. And the way I made this thing is I took a bunch of trees and I took a setting and I superimposed them on there, and it actually worked really nice. And we did this in Swimming in Paint, actually. They had to take that black and white and put mood to it. So they were using two references, essentially. Now, I've got that kind of set. There will be a reflection there. There'll be some here. And then there'll be some right there. So then I'm going to go to the next reference for the distant part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one really in the distance that'll be more flat, just kind of across. Nothing spectacular about it. Then I'm going to come along, get some more of that medium, and I'm going to put in this movement, or this tree deal, right in through there. This will be forward of it. And a little bit of opening there. And I can always adjust this as I'm going all the way through this thing. And it likes the fact that it's centered. So I think what I'm going to do is reorganize it just a bit, because I don't want it centered. I'm going to have this tree right there. Let's sparse it out a bit, and I'm going to run it like that. So that's, there we go, that's better. Now, we got some horses in this thing and some water showing for reflections. So I am going to come along and do something like that, because that's basically what I'm seeing. So this is land right there of sorts. And I think, well, maybe. I'll have to play with that. I'm not sure about that. And then we come into the horses, where I'm going to go back to this, because I want a more natural transition. So I get more water like that. I'm just going to break it like that. So you can see that's right there. This will be a reflection. And my little ponies will be right here. And these ponies are kind of cool. I'll just kind of place a few so you can kind of see. So I got maybe one there with her little foal. I'm going to make her fairly big. So she's got a little foal. That means I'm going to have a little area here that's kind of a little bit of land. It's not quite as deep. Okay? And then I'm going to balance that out with a few back in here. Like this. Now I'll put a little group right over here. Or maybe even there. Not going to get too much in the weeds on that. The one that I'm interested in is this one. Right there. With the foal. Some distant horses that can break the horizons like that. And then if I need balance, I'll drop one in here somehow. I'm not sure. I don't need the balance right now, so it doesn't really much matter. So I'm going to go back to this reference. And there's some openings in this. That's a fairly solid tree. And got my little babies right there. And so I think basically I've got a composition. Now, going back to the other one. Where are you? Well, you can kind of see that I had the sun right there. I think what I'm going to do is, good choice, Chuck. Where do I put it? I could do it right there. It's got to be low. It's in that first stage in the morning. And so what I'm going to do is take a little yellow. Why yellow? I don't know. I'm just going to. Okay, so I'm going to use this to start with. I start top down, so I'm going to drop the easel down to my eye level and just start making some color. I'm using Persian Rose White Titanium right into the gold mixture that I had going there. And over here I have French Ultramarine Blue, which is on the moves to the violet side, I guess. Lavender. And a lot of medium. I gotta really build something here that I can start with and work it from there. So I'm going to come up. It's still pretty gray out. It's been raining pretty much forever now. Makes you wonder if it'll ever stop. I want to put a little bit of this blue in it. Just kind of mixing up colors up in here. A little bit of blue in the morning early. If you were to look up when you're in that particular stage of the sun, it's pretty blue up there, or on that tone anyway. I also need something for the pinks and warm sun colors to work against, and this will do it for me. I really want to make sure that I get all the holidays so I don't have to come back into this. I like my skies really to be one session if possible. And if not, well, I'm taking a little bit of pink into that, and that's kind of working. All right, so that's going to be a good move down. So I'm going to make more of the other color so I can get across the complete top of this thing. And I may run out of white on this. A little bit of this. And let's just come and see what it does. Yeah, that's good. I like variation in it. And let's... But initially you've got to get enough paint on the canvas to start doing anything. And I'll come over to this tree here, catch a little at the top. It'll be, the colors will be cooler on each side and warmer as you're closer to the sun. And that won't be any different here. Excuse me, gosh. I think I'll just close that in a little bit because I can go over it with the trees. Using the same number 8 brush from Royal, a soft grip that I been using for the last 3 or 4 paintings, really. This brush is kind of earning its keep here. It don't cost very much, but it's okay. I'll take this, I'll gather all this up here in a second. I just want to get this thing covered at the top. Crossroads is going to have an opening on this coming Friday, and I'm going to do a demo there. And I also need to change out my gallery. It's been the same way for really quite a while now. And got to get focused back in it. The election's over and time to turn the news off and go back to music. Till next time. And so I got a big pile of paint there that was just in the brush and everywhere else. And okay, that's good. I like that. It's a little bit on the red side. Put that right in here. So basically I've done the first 3 or 4 inches of the canvas. I'll come back in, get the rest of it, get it on there. No point keeping it. I'll come kind of this side. As the light gets better in here, this will be better. So a little more medium. I'm using titanium, regular titanium white, and Griffin alkalide titanium together. Gotta buy some more of this. Kind of running out. But if I mix the two together, it kind of works together very well to dry overnight, which is what I want it to do. And let's see. I'm going to take all of this blue this time. I need to make a big pile. I've been putting a little bit of Seb's blue over here in it, and as it turns out, that's pretty much a used up color there. Some of these colors will sit on the palette for a week and be fine, and some not. And this happens to be one of them that will. There just wasn't very much on it to begin with. So let's see what we got here. Put a little more pink in it. Warm it up. Okay. And just kind of get some of that paint out of the brush. One of the reasons why it works is because the brushes last so long is because I'm continually taking the paint out. And this is a little bit on the blue side, which is good because it was kind of gets a little more blue over here. And come in like this and kind of shape what I think might be the outside of this tree. And then I'll let it kind of develop over time. And I'll come over in here. It's a pretty good match to where I was. Take that out like that. And let's see. Okay. Now I'll start modifying this pile to work my way into there. So that's a lot of white, a little bit of this. Can make it lighter all the way around. And a little bit of pink and blue first. So Seb's is a really great color because now I can start to move in blue, a different shade of blue than these two. These are all, others were all on the pink side, or this is not. A little more. Gotta be careful, it's very, very saturated. Drive you nuts. And go a little more pink in that. There we go. I need more of it. And I get little crumbs off. That's when you use paint off the spin around. You get a few little crumbs here and there, which is okay. Just take them out. Alright, so now I'm getting that blue contrast further. A little more blue than the reference. The reference is much warmer. But I want it to have moon mist. So I'm taking it up on into the other color as well. All right, now got to decide if I'm going to start to warm it up and how I do that. So I've got what I think is Wand Brilliant there. I'm not really 100% sure, but I think it is. I like it because it's a little more sympathetic to the warmer colors. It doesn't go green. I don't want it to go green yet. Actually, I don't want it to go green at all. So I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon yellow in this. See what I get. There you go. That morning thing. I hope it shows on the camera, on the film. All right. But it does like through like that. I got smart. I couldn't use Pandora because they kept getting me for copyright a couple of times. So I went on to YouTube and took their music, brought a whole lot of it out that I liked, and that's what I'm playing in the background. And I think that is going to work really well. There we go. So now I've got the beginnings of a transition that's kind of showing up in this. Now I'm going to shift it really to pink. Initially I'll just use the rest of the Persian rose and throw that in there. It'll kind of stand out a bit, I think. Not too much. All right. So I think I'm going to go with vermilion, which is a cad light. And I have to be kind of careful here because I don't want it to go muddy on me in any way, shape, or form. So it's a delicate balance right here. But there is this glow that starts to come off of that sun up like that. See how I've warmed it up? But because I have that in there, the whole thing is staying clean. Can't stand it when it gets dirty. And I can keep adjusting this up and out. And there's a little bit of recall up in there, but not much. I'll just take it all the way across. Put a little there just in case I need it. And look for holidays as I go. And then I'll start to take the vermilion very carefully. That's a very saturated color too. Along with lemon, or not the lemon, but just the lemon light. Cadmium, I guess it is. And see how that gets to be a brighter, more intense light. See, like that. Then you just move with the music. And that kind of, whatever paint I've got already in my brush, kind of works with it. I can move up with it. Just kind of play to the music. And okay. Come back and get some more. And as I go this way, it gets more contaminated, like this. And I'll just throw some in here. So in a sense, I can kind of almost clean my brush when I want to by just using this. All right, so I've got that glow moving. I'm going to take this and just stick it over here. Go like this. And I'm going to come in. Oops, well, it's okay. It's not going to have a lot of yellow in the end. All right. Now, as it gets closer to this right here, this thing gets darker, and I think I'll put some more of the. I can go into Alizarin Crimson to accomplish some of what I've got to do, I think, within this. That was Persian Rose. It's just one of those colors that you find one day and you just kind of like it. You stay with it. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going to come from the outside of this, like this. Stay away from the sun area. I'm just going to work on the perimeter aspects of this, work my way in, and see what happens. Still got some of my others, so I could add the blues in as I'm going. And I'll merge it up to whatever way I have to. Add to it, subtract, monkey with it. And again, I think that was about right. I'll take more. Yeah, okay. See, I like when it goes into the blue like that. And closer and closer. I'll go off in here, and it's bluer, so I'll go get some more blue. Stick it in there. Make it darker. Coming back almost to the original color. But as it gets further away, you see it gets more blue. But that doesn't mean that we don't get a little of all of this other stuff in there as well. Come to there, and let's just get some more French ultramarine blue. This sympathizes with purple. This goes to the dioxin of the purple. There's just enough red in it to not affect much. And we can take some more of that color right there. Okay, like that. And as I get down, as I get out, I'm going to put that in here. Got some trees there. Could go straight blue or straight ultramarine blue in these areas right here. I'll keep doing that, I guess, adding to it. Now I'll come back in. I'll take some of this Seb's blue in this color. Gives me a little different edge to it. Subtle, but it does do it. It turns it a bit more green than sort of lavender, so it kind of reduces things a bit. I just want to darken this down to there. Yeah, put a little there. It's a fairly smooth sky. I'm going to do something now so I don't forget it. So I'm taking the Seb's blue into this like that, because there's a lot of blue and stuff that comes up onto this. And I'm going to do it over here as well. My project now is I have to merge all of this into a nice movement. So I'm going to gather up all that I've got floating around here, put it into my pile over here. Take that, and all of that. Anything that's just scrap at this point can throw into this. Even that. And a little of that. Okay, so now I've got a color over here that's kind of what I would call mud. I can use this as my neutral color that I can add into brighter colors to neutralize my bit. Alright, so I'm going to come back in and get the white. A little of this. And I guess I'll go into this and see what I get. I'm going to take it over that way. I want to start moving that color, that warm color, into those colors. And like that, see? Same over here. Got to smooth that out a bit. Because I can keep layering in here pretty well. But now you see how I have that warm light coming through there? Don't know that you can see that, but I do. And get some more of it, the last of it. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll take a little, spread the wealth a little bit because I like movements that move across. So I can make this lighter, you see, to make this a contiguous move from. Okay. That made that darker, which it needs to be. So let me go take a look at this at 30 feet. I just changed to this other reference because I want to start moving this thing to the sun. Or this, or this. To get some more intense. Take a little of this as well. Warm it up just a bit into this. Looks pretty good from the background, or from the back. And a little more. And let's get this kind of mix it all up here. Merge these two together. Like this. So I'm bringing the focus into this, driving your eye that way with color. And basically, in order to get this to work, I've got to get it wet for quite a distance around the whole thing. And I'll darken this later if I have to. I know I'm going to. There we go. And closing in on it. Take this, go that way. You gotta be careful here because this particular stage of the sun takes a lot of different turns on you to make it work. It's hard to paint actually. Alright. Now it's going to be basically right there. I'm going to drop it down. Get a few highlights I can jigs I don't like. Kind of go into this a bit. Break up the edges. Just start breaking them up now as opposed to later. Alright. Now I'm going to move away from the vermilion, which is on the orange side. Go back to the Persian, which is that color I've got right about there now. Let's see. It's about the right color around this thing. The initial color anyway. I'll just kind of go around it. The area around the sun is always darker than you think it is. But this has a couple of little wrinkles to it. Going to start bringing the blue back in. Through here. So now you need that transition right in there. And it takes a couple of layerings to do this. A little lighter than that. A little bit warm, I think. So the Wand Brilliant takes the part of making this warm. There we go, that helped. Alright, now I'll do a little more of that. And let's just try it here and see what it does. Very subtle coloring that you'd almost not pick up. And bring it over this way a little bit. All right. Put that over there. I'm going to add more. Can always take this out if it doesn't work, but I want to merge that a little more with a warmer color right through there. There we go. I want some of the other colors to still come through. To that wouldn't hurt. Alright, when it gets around the sun itself, it's got to go cooler. And I'm going to take Provence Violet, another one of those really saturated colors. That's going to give me a different tone than just putting blue and reds together. Let's just see what this does. Yeah, I think so. So it might not be totally visible at your end, but it is mine. And I think maybe more of it. It's being contaminated somewhat by the colors I already had in my brush, but there we go. I want that look. So I'm just kind of layering it on very lightly so it floats over the other colors and doesn't really disturb what's beneath. And it's still lighter than that, interestingly enough. So I'm going to add some white and just see how much more it has to go. And, okay, that'll go up to that. And take it into this. I'm going to take it over, start moving it into this. This won't be the first time I'm going to put this on. I'm going to layer it as it sets up. I can do it even easier and get more sophisticated as it goes. Alright. So I think that is kind of working. Take a little bit of it this way. Kind of bring the wealth over. Got to go through these crazy trees. Just scratch it there. Okay. Now, take this, just kind of clean it off, and decide whether I'm going to do something with my hand here. I like some of it, but I don't like all of it. And I can do this much easier. There you go, I like that better. It's just kind of moving with the rhythm of the music that you might have in the early morning. Okay. I'm going to change to a number 4 filbert just because I want really good clean color on this, and I could get it by fooling around here a few minutes, but yeah, let's see. This is just too contaminated right here. So I'm going to take all my medium and I'm just going to stick it over here. Okay, a little bit of red in this. This is vermilion that I'm putting in, and I am going to come in and just cover the thing. Like so. And add a little white, and I am not sure where this is going to go, but I want the perimeter. kind of made it pink. I think I'm going to take my wet one. Take all of that off. And take that like that. Go back and get my wet one. All right. Now I'm going to come back in with that lavender, I think. And just play with this outer perimeter just a bit. And bum bum bum. I've got to turn my music on. So I'm going to take a little more of this lavender and a little more white. And let's see what I can do here. This is really, really light. You barely even touching the canvas on it. And I'm working my way out from it. A lot of fog in this picture, mood, mist, morning mist. And I'm going to take it out like that. Run it right straight through. And the same is true there. And I just kind of do that with the left hand. Yes, I can paint with my left. Alright, now I'm just going to kind of break a few edges there initially. Not the first time for this to happen. It's going to probably happen a couple of times as I work on it. Alright, to clean it off, put this brush over here. Get it out of my way. Now, let's turn the brush. And let's get that dark. I want that to kind of go away. Yeah, get some little stuff there. And it's better. I'm going to take that color into the trees a bit. And just some of the clean off. I can darken it or lighten it as I need to, but I want to see what this is doing around the sun. Okay. Now our original sun is much more, it's deeper. And I think what I used on that one was cadmium yellow, deep. So let's put a little of that out. Don't need much. And let's just see what it does on the perimeter of this. Okay, it might work for that. I'd like to come at this sun a lot easier than I did the last one, and the one that we're kind of going by. All right. Fun comes when I merge it. That's the part I like. Alright, I'm just going to take out some of this, because I don't need it all. And we'll take the vermilion into that. And this is where it gets tricky. It might have to be a couple of goes at this to get this the way I want it. Yep. I want it to glow. It ain't going that way. So I'm going to come at it from light yellow into that mix and see what happens. They have to come in with a different red. Try another way. And when you don't like something, you keep taking it out until you get what you want. Yeah, let's see what we get here. Alright, it's closer. Much closer. Forgot how I made it pop last time. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. But let's just see if it does. It's much lighter than... Yeah. I just neutralized it. And this ain't about neutralizing. This is about popping. Okay. I'll take it out. And get myself painted. That's cool. Dun, 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 dun. I may have used orange. We'll see. We'll just set it back up again. And let's break it down another way. This might work. Ah, there it is. I knew. Just had to come back to the formula I did the first time. Dum 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 dum. I'll let it set here for a minute. Take this like this. And I don't really need this, what I'm doing right now. I'm going to put it in anyway. I'm going to lift it. I rubbed this out a couple of times. Now I know how to get back to it, so really it was just simply one brilliant and vermilion. Go back to it again. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Sometimes a bigger brush works a bit better than a small one. So what I'm doing is I am merging this sun deeper in, and then I kind of sorted that out. It's not finished yet, but it'll get there. Now this will have a, this is going to bleed. Take some of this. This thing is going to bleed right down through here, and those colors will be all of it until it hits right in here. So I'm just kind of like, I'm doing this with alizarin crimson because I'll use a lot of alizarin crimson through this part of the painting till it hits here, and then it'll fade. It'll explode out from there to there. So what I think I'm going to do, in fact I think I'll do it. All right. All right. I think that just kind of sort of worked for me. All right. Kind of marinate a bit. I know that this is much darker yet because this is going to be that first sun that you see, that real intense one. It's bloody red.